What's up everyone, this is Jacob and we got some brand new images of the Playmates Battle Roar series of toys for Godzilla x Kong. We got the Scar King, Kong, and of course, the Big G-Man. And I think even though it's in toy form, we get the best look yet at the new evil Kong, the Scar King, so stay tuned for that. But first, let's talk about Godzilla -1 real quick. If you've been paying attention to that movie, it has now made over $60 million worldwide, which is a small number compared to all these big blockbusters coming out these days. But in the grand scheme of things, the movie is making a heck of a profit and we're probably going to get a sequel, so if you like Godzilla -1, there you go. But you probably came here for the MonsterVerse, and don't you worry, we have some news on that as well. Let's go see what KDM has to say. According to him, there's already 2 more trailers for the new Empire already made and ready to go for strategic drops over the next month here in the States and I guess internationally as well. Now apparently, one of the trailers is going to be 90 seconds or a minute and a half long, and the other is going to be 59 seconds right there at a minute. And they've been dubbed in Italian, German, French, and other European languages. So I'm not quite sure if they're just going to chop down the official trailer that we already seen to make these new trailers, or if it's going to show anything new. But of course, you guys know if they show something new, we're going to talk about it here on Dangerville, so stomp that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit the bell to stay notified. Now let's talk about these Godzilla Kong the New Empire figures. Now we're going to start off with Kong here because, well, he's the simplest one, there's not much to talk about. But it is cool how apparently these toys have rubber faces so they roar and you can actually see their face moving like they were actually moving. So that is cool. But the one little attention to detail thing that I want to note, because it's pretty cool, is that they actually have Kong's scars from where Godzilla was scratching on his chest in Godzilla vs. Kong. Speaking of the old Big G-Man, let's talk about him next. Now my boy from across the pond, Alistair, has already made plenty of videos talking about this new Godzilla design, which go check them out if you haven't. But I personally haven't really told you guys my opinion about the new Godzilla design all that much, and specifically not these toys at all. So I'll give you a little rundown. I like the idea of Godzilla constantly changing. I've never really had a Godzilla that I didn't like the physical appearance of. Maybe not so much for Shin Godzilla, but over time even Shin's grown on me. So yeah, even with his quirks, I like this new Godzilla design. My favorite parts of it probably being his new dorsal plates. They just kinda remind me of lava or something. And I really dig the elbow spikes, just something about that looks cool. I do gotta admit though, I don't really like the sunken in gut look. I feel like it's kind of an odd choice, but if you look at this toy compared to the other images online of Godzilla, I don't think it'll look this bad in the actual movie. Now let's talk about the Scar King. Which, cool little fun fact here, the way how his name is spelled, you know, Scar with a K, in the old Norse tongue, translates roughly to the word wild. And I'm going to talk about how that can actually have something to do with the story in Godzilla Kong the New Empire. Regarding the Scar King and a little bit of lore on him maybe. But for now, let's just talk about this figure. Back when the first teaser trailer came out, we were all thinking, gosh, is this guy really tall and lanky or what? And well, it turns out he is. And you can see that with the toys here, especially when you have Kong and him side by side. I want to ask you guys what you think about his red and white colorations over his body. It's definitely unique, you could say. You're not going to have a hard time telling who's who when he fights Kong, you know? Speaking of Kong, here's the weapon the Scar King's probably going to use to fight him with. His bone bandolier, which apparently he's going to use as a whip in combat, I guess. And if you look close at that, it's actually the spine and jaw of another Titan. Now I can't tell you which Titan that is, but it definitely looks like it could be in the Godzilla family, or at least something close to that, right? And that's going to be pretty cool seeing that thing go up against Kong's new Beast Glove, which you can learn more about in this video. Feel free to go check that out if you want. So that's it for now everyone, I hope you like this little news update. Shout out to Aftermax G-Man over there on Twitter for revealing these images. And as always everyone, this has been Jacob, and I will see you in the next one.